Hi, my name is Carolyn No. I'm the founder of an organization called Superheroines, Etc., and I'm also an avid crafter. Today, I'm excited to talk to you about making zines. Zine is short for magazine, and it makes sense because zines are essentially like smaller magazines. Usually they're handmade, they focus on a specific topic, and they were invented a few decades ago, primarily in the fandom communities. So a lot of people who are into Star Trek or Star Wars started making these things called zines. And then they expanded to more social justice issues. So you saw people who were publishing them about things like feminism and environmentalism. Like you saw in Moxie, she did hers entirely on feminism. And now they're really done about any particular topic. A lot of people were doing something called quarantines. So during the quarantine, they made little zines. I did this to keep myself entertained. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a zine, like the physical object. We're going to use this zine as a way to brainstorm other zines that you might make. So I'm going to give you some ideas about what you might make your zine about, and then you'll come up with a bunch of ideas that you would want to make your zine about, and then you'll have a little zine for all of your ideas. I use mine primarily as a creative outlet, but I've also done things like a zine about role-playing games. That's something that I like to do, that are not Dungeons and Dragons. So something different so that I can tell other people what other cool games are out there that they might want to try themselves. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a zine, like physically. Only 3 things that you'll need to make a zine are a piece of paper. It can just be a plain white piece of paper, but if you like to get creative, you can use construction paper or cardstock. A writing utensil. Could use a pen, could use a marker. A lot of people like to use Sharpies. I like color, so I picked out some colorful writing utensils. And then you'll also need a pair of scissors. The zine that we're going to make today is essentially a miniature booklet. So this has a few different pages inside, gives you plenty of room to be creative, write down all your ideas, add decorations, and I'm going to walk you through every single one of the steps. And I'm hoping that everyone at home knows what a hot dog fold and a hamburger fold is, but if not, Google is out there, and I will also include some written instructions that can help you with some visuals. So what you're going to do is take your piece of paper and you're going to fold it hamburger style. So hamburger style is sort of the wider, chunkier style, because when you eat a hamburger, it's kind of like this. Hot dogs are more like this. You fold it like that. Then you go ahead and you actually open it back up and you fold toward the fold from the edges. So I take my top edge here and I fold it in. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I'll show you what that looks like. So it should end up looking like this. Put it back up and you fold toward the fold from the edges. So I take my top edge here and I fold it in. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And I'll show you what that looks like. So it should end up looking like this. Then you're actually going to open it all back up. And then we're going to fold it hot dog style. So it's the long ways. Some folks might call it the mountain and valley folds. So I grew up in Florida where there were no mountains or valleys, so I do hamburger and hot dog. And it's gonna look like this. What essentially we're doing is creating some fold lines so that you can make your proper cut and then you can fold the booklet the right way. So we'll open it all back up. We're gonna go back to our hamburger fold right here. And you've got a line here and you've got a line here. We're gonna cut this line to where it intersects with the other line. Okay. So now you can see it's still all attached, but we have that little cut in the middle. And it's got like a little mouth there. The next step is a little tricky. So I'm going to show you how to do this a couple times. It's even tricky for me. Kind of like push it in like that. Okay, so take this, kind of put your fingers right here, push it in. All right, and now you have some nice folds there that are going to kind of guide you to where each one of the pages are. So I'm starting to kind of like squish all of my pages so that they look like a booklet. So I'm going to unfold that one more time. Got this. I'm going to fold it like this, fold it right there on those two folds, push it in. And if I rotate this, you'll see like all the pages are there. And now we just kind of have to squish it. So if you kind of push them all together so that they start looking like this, then you can just fold them over and you have your final product. Okay. The next part of zine making is the really fun part, and that's the putting in text and pictures and drawings to share what it is that you're excited about with anyone who wants to read your zine. So the way that I like to decide what I'm going to make my zine about is I have 3 topic areas that are special to me. And these will all be special to you. So the first topic area is your passion. What I like to do is on that first spread, so when you open up the book, still got a blank front page, I put passion on that first page, and then I'll go in and I'll fill in some of those details. The next thing that's going to be unique to you is something that you can do to fill a need. So maybe that's a need in your community. Maybe it's something that people don't know at school. So maybe you know how to do, how to make a zine. You could make one about making a zine. Or maybe you think everyone should know about all the different sports at your school or the different clubs. You could write a whole little booklet about that and tell everyone else what opportunities there are. And then another thing is your unique knowledge, something that you know that maybe not a lot of other people know, or you have like a special perspective on. When I first started my career, I worked at a museum where I talked about dinosaurs. So I weirdly know a lot about dinosaurs. So that might be one of my unique knowledge pieces. So I went ahead and filled in each of the pages with answers to each of the questions. What is my passion? How can I fill a need? And what is my unique knowledge? Just to give you some ideas of what you might fill in. So for my passion, I obviously really like crafting and doing creative things. Before the pandemic, I really enjoyed trying new restaurants. I also love playing tabletop board games. I'm passionate about helping people, and I really love to read. So those are some things that might get me started on making my next zine. And then for my fill a need, one of the things I love to do is help people learn how to rescue beagles. I've owned beagles most of my life, and they are wonderful dogs, but they have some very unique needs. So I like to help other people know that they can rescue a dog breed that has some interesting challenges. Maybe food pantries in Northern Kentucky to help other people who need to get food. I'm actually having a baby soon, so one of the things that I think would be helpful is a list of all the best story times at the libraries locally. And then a list of dog parks near dog owners. I've got 2 dogs, so I'm always looking for a new place. These are some things I could research and help my community. And then for unique knowledge, I went ahead and put in dinosaurs because who doesn't like dinosaurs? One thing that I do for my job is find speakers for events, so I think people have a challenge figuring that out, and I have some unique knowledge there. I've done a lot of fundraisers, so I can always share that knowledge. And I drive a Fiat, so I can tell people about how much fun it is to drive a Fiat and what are some of the really cool things that you can do. So hopefully you've come up with a really great list of ideas of where you could make your next zine, maybe a fan topic or social justice issue, or maybe it's just dinosaurs. There's so many great things that you have to share with the world, and zines are just one way to do that.